Forgot what button to... What? There it is. Found the button. Awesome. Sorry about that. I'm Buddy Lindsay. This is the Go Rush channel, and this is the Monday night live stream where we're building an application so that we can and I can learn Rust. For the last few weeks, we've been working on a TUI, a Terminal UI application that's kind of a replacement for Postman. As mentioned in previous episodes, there is a alternative that already exists that does that, that is very fully featured. But we don't want to not build it because it's an awesome opportunity to build something practical in Rust and just learn what it takes to do. So we're going to continue on with that journey tonight. And last week, we actually got the application working. So let's take a look at it just as a refresher. Let me see if I can figure out how to use this application. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go here. Go over and cargo run. Yeah, there we go. So we have our basic UI here. This is where we're going to do the verb. This is where we're going to do the URL. This is going to be the result. So if we do, I think I set it as V for, whoops, okay, yeah. So that's something I got to figure out is try to do some sort of indicator of where I'm at. All right, so we're going to do, we want to do a get, and then I hit tab. So we do https:// I think it's swappy. Actually, don't remember what it is. Swappy.dev/API. Let's see, .dev/API/people/ there we go, and we got it. We have our result that's spit out in our thing here. It's not formatted fun, but it is there. We have a successful application. So if we see it, but did, what is it? I wanted to do the URL and change this to 4. Hit enter. Darth Vader. There we go. Just out of curiosity. Wait, crap. U for URL. And then 7. There you go. Nice. Just out of curiosity, let's break it. URL. Let's do 700. Detail not found. Nice, nice. So it's totally doing some stuff and doing some things and working. So what we want to do, we have a couple of options. We could make this pretty. Print out well, make it look nice. We could do some other nice UI elements, but I want to go down the hard road. And let's do this in tabs. So we add multiple, so we can do it with multiple tabs. I don't know how to do tabs in Ratatui, but we're going to figure it out because this is going to take some re-architecting of our application state and our UI state. And I feel like it's going to be semi-complicated and take a little time to figure out. And that's exactly what we're here to do so that we can learn. So let's do it. Q to quit. All right. So open up our main to get started. Just going to call out again. This is boilerplate. Oh, actually, I'm back to small text because I was doing some coding. Let's do... I'm going to change this to 5, right? Yeah, there we go. That should be bigger to read. Cool. That's one reason I like Alacrity for my terminal is it just instantly takes effect. All right. So back to this is boilerplate to enable our TUI application and get it into the specific mode. This is the stuff that matters for our application. And this is the post stuff when you want to close so that it returns your UI back to what it was. If you error in here, it doesn't run this and you get some really weird problems. So just kind of a reminder on that. It's important to understand. So when you see it go bad, you know what's going on. All right. So we want to deal with our UI. Let's go into our app. Do. So it's our main application. Let's do pub enum tab. I mean, let's see. What does a tab have? Like, what does a page have? A page has. See, I mean, we have the app, and the app is a struct. I mean, really, yeah, really. So what we want to do is we want to do a pub struct tab, and we want the. Really, we want this here. We want the URL input, pub. We want the response data. Oops. And what we want to do is do paste. Let's do pub tabs is a vec of tabs. All right. So currently editing is an option request information. Okay, I mean that. So trying to think this through. So what we do is when we go in and we want to edit information, let's look at. I think make request does not. It's part of the app. Does it? No, I don't know. We'll come back to that. When we do this, do. So we're changing the current screen. Man, sorry. So when we want to edit the URL, we switch the main screen to editing. Here's for that enum. And we set currently editing to the request information URL so that we probably want pub active tab to be a tab. So the app will hold all the tabs. The active tab, we really probably. No, we're not gonna about that. With the active tab, that's the one we're gonna work with. So I mean, do we put the edit state? Current screen is main, or we'll see everything. Currently editing is it's request information, which is what we want. But we want it from the tab. All right, this will be a reference to a thing. Really, what we want is some request information URL, currently editing. Okay, and then when we come down here, if the okay. If currently editing equal to URL, then we want to switch currently editing to be the verb, because we're down here. Here we go. Then we want to do app.active tab dot verb active tab dot URL input. There we go. So this adding backspace will be active tab. Okay, so that'll remove it from there. Okay. So yeah, that should be good because we're just setting the state of something that's happening. This is doing the character mapping. We're just saying, hey, when we're in the state of currently editing this type of a thing, we're just setting flags basically for us to figure out later. Okay. And then really, the active tab, I don't know if an active tab is the right pattern to do, but that's what we're going to do. And we're going to roll with it. We're going to have fun with it. All right. So we don't have... Yep. What we want to do is let mute active tab equals yeep. There we go. Active tab. I don't know if that works. So yeah, this is right here what I am after. Sorry I just clapped in your face. Did not mean to do that. This is the borrow checking stuff that I really see. Move occurs because the active type has type app tab, which does not implement the copy trait. I don't want to copy. Then we are putting the active tab as part of a vec of tabs. So that's where the value is. So you can't... Okay, this could be a pattern in Rust that you just should not do. So let's do this. Let's use the brand spanking new Chat GPT 4.0 of this Rust, I am getting a problem where I can't use active tab in a vec to know all of the tabs and set an active tab for usage later in my Ratatui application. My ideal is that the vector house all of the tabs so that we can reference them later, then have an active tab key or whatever, so that we can directly reference a tab to do data changes on the tab. Then if I want to switch tabs, I just swap out the active tab. Is this a bad pattern, or the problem I am hitting is the borrow checker for probably good reasons? How can I solve this? Was this a bad approach to begin with? The issue you're encountering is due to Rust ownership on borrowing rules, right? Specifically, you can't have active tab as an element in the tabs vector and also directly referencing the active tab in the abstract. Rust enforces strict ownership rules, which makes sense to ensure memory safety and have the same data owned by multiple places, both in the vector and as a separate field is problematic, right? A better approach would be to store only the index. That was kind of the thing I was thinking. Store only the index of the active tab in the abstract. This way you keep the tabs vector and reference the active tab using the index. Here's how you would do that. Yeah. I'm not used to doing that in applications, and that is a thing that I had thought about doing, but wasn't exactly sure about whether that was a good approach or not. Like, that's just not a normal thing I think about. So, yeah, active tab index. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it really does. I get it. They're adding in two things that I would need to implement. Switch tabs. Tell it which tab. Interesting. Why in get active tab? Why the percent tab? I don't know. Rust method indicates the method returns an immutable reference to a tab. Whoa, that just like exploded on me. Method indicates that the method returns an immutable reference to a tab. This means you can read the data of the active tab without modifying it. Here's a more detailed why you see immutability. What? Oh, I see what's going on here. That's interesting. Get a mutable. It's an interesting pattern. I mean, that's definitely, I feel like, a Rustism I'm not used to. Okay. Means the method gives you a read-only view of the tab. This is useful when you want to access the tab's data without changing it. Right. It ensures that no accidental modifications are made. Right. By returning a reference, you avoid copying the entire tab structure, which can be more efficient, especially if tab contains larger complex data. Right. I don't want to copy. It's totally something I don't want to do. Safety, Rust, borrow, checker, and blah, whatever. Here's the method again for reference. The self means the method takes an immutable reference to self, allowing you to call it on an immutable app. Indicates the return type is immutable. Borrows the active tab. So, right. Okay, I don't care about that. Immutable references. So that's kind of, I feel almost contradictory. So if at tab is just, I want to know what does the actual ampersand mean? What does the ampersand actually mean? Because it is kind of weird that at tab means crap, I can't type, means it is immutable, but at ampersand, or say ampersand mute tab means it is mutable. This is confusing to my brain. Please elaborate. It can be a bit confusing at first. Let me. Whoa. Okay. I understand Rust borrowing semantics can be a bit confusing at first. Let me break it down a bit more clearly. Borrowing references. In Rust, the ampersand symbol denotes a reference, and a reference allows you to access data without taking ownership. Right. That's what I thought, but it gets a little confusing in how they explain things. Not just ChatGPT, other things are confusing as well. There are two types of references in Rust. Immutable references, ampersand T. These allow, okay. And mutable references, ampersand mute T. These allow you to both read and write. Okay. That makes sense. So you're getting a reference that's read-only. And then, like, it's like, I'm going to say this, and it is going to be a terrible explanation because it's not what's happening at all. I always hesitate to say it, but it makes sense for my brain. The ampersand T gives you a copy of the data that you can read it however much you want, and you can't change it. The reason that's a terrible explanation is you're doing it by reference so you don't get a copy. Sorry. It was just funny how my brain was like comprehending. All right, the at mute T is you're getting so the reason I was saying copy for the first one is like you're just getting a reference so that you can do whatever the crap you want. Like you can't edit it, but you can read it to your heart's content and no one cares. It's like a copy. But to me, the at mute T is the real reference. This is where you get to actually do something with it. And so that's why I was feeling like this is a copy and this is the legit reference in my opinion. All right, immutable references. Ampersand T. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. I think we get that. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. I actually kind of like this here. I kind of like this pattern here. Stop it. We're gonna copy it. All right. So then we're gonna do let tab equals self.getActiveTab. Boom. And then can we do tab.url input? Is it gonna error? No, it's not. Sweet. Oh well. Index. You suck. You stop it. There we go. Oh, let's do 0. Because I do dumb things sometimes. Index. Use size. There we go. Boom. So this is get active tag. This is get active tab mute. Mute. Muta. Muta. It's muta. So with that in mind, let's go over here. Let's do let tab equals app.getActiveTab mute. And then we're going to do tab. All right. Let tab equals app.getActiveTab mute. There we go. All right. Let tab equals that. Boom. I think we've made an important step forward in this. All right. All right. I'm listening to some kind of fast-paced music, so kind of got me there for a minute. All right. No, it shouldn't work. I was about to say, actually, this might work, but I doubt it. It won't. Let's find out. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it blows up. This, yeah. Yep. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. All right. Boom. All right. So I think we have our data structure. So we can get a mutable active tab. Let us do this. It's fine for now. Mute active tab. Oh. Method in this implement. Cool. Runs. All right. So our UI is we have the thing up there, like what is this application? Really probably don't need that. Then we have our inputs. Where do we want to put it? When you got, well, we gotta put it right here. We're gonna put it right there. Let's start with we're past title and we're at render widgets. There we're doing tabs. All right, we're gonna do a black. Wonder if there's like I think I tried to get it like a prettier or a black or something for Rust. There's gotta be. And I was just being stupid not being able to find it. All right, there we go. So now rendering out in that one, right? So we're gonna do 3 here. Render widget. Wait. So this is a response. What? Oh, here we go. So title block up there. Paragraph. I just don't know how I want this to look. Let's just start with something. So let's copy and paste. All right. And then we want to do frame.render tabs 1. Whoa. Tabs block. There we go. Awesome. Cute. Boom. IR's tabs. All right. Next, we need to do tabs. Let active tab equals app.getActive tab mute. So we do active tab. Active tab. Interesting. So because we have a reference to app and not change this to a mutable reference. So for the yeah, makes sense. So yeah, this is where we're getting. What did I just click? Oh, there we go. So so we're good. The active tab. And we're getting the copy of the values there for it. See, I just got caught in my brain of trying to think through actual individual tabs. Because this isn't a normal UI where every tab is a self-contained interface, it's actually managing state of UI elements. We don't need a bunch of different elements. We just need to know what are going to be in the elements that are on the page, on the frame. So with that in mind, active tab is really all we need. We just need to make sure, like here, we're getting the proper active tab. So up here, when we list our tabs, we need to just get some sort of visual reference for the tabs. Maybe uh because since I'm using active tab now in all the important locations, really this should work. So if I do v get you tab over, do swappy.dev/API people PEOPLE5. Oh, I broke the get. So let's kill that. A app. Yeah. So cannot move out. Which is behind a shared. What's that actual? So move occurs because tab URL input has type string, which does not implement copy trait. But I, I, I thought we were doing that over. Crap. We're doing clone of the verb. Okay. All right. So let's just do the same thing because we don't. For calling it, we don't care. There we go. Now we run it. Yeah. We want the URL. We want it's called swappy.dev/API PEOPLE. Let's do 8. And then we want to do a get. There we go. So it still works. And then technically we're in the first tab. Because we're using the active tab here. So now that we don't need that, let's kill that. Kill that. Whoops. And let's come back up here. We don't need that, that, or that. Oh, we want to do tab dot response data. Yep. And then we actually want to go down here. Response data. Yep. Figuring that. And do tab. So we were still kind of goofing it. Active tab. There we go. Now we're fully on the tab the tab system. What? Cannot assign tab response data, which is behind. Oh yeah. An app 42.9. Right. Let tab equals crap. It makes sense to get the mutable version of it. Yep. Okay. I want V to be get. I want the URL to be swappy.dev slash people slash 5. Ooh. It's because I have the wrong URL. But cool that I got back a HTML response. People slash 5. Cool. We are good. So now we're using tabs. Next, we need to list the tabs. This is where I want to come back over to Ratatui. We have tabs. So these are the name of the tabs. I feel like that's cool that you select two. So that's the one you're gonna select. See, render tabs. You have titles, highlight, selected tab index, highlight style, select padding. Select tab index, right. New. We're doing new tabs. The question is, how do you associate highlight styles okay, so that's the thing. When you change tabs, I want to be able to change my active tab index. I guess if we got a reference to tabs somewhere, you would call the wherever the method went, the selected U size, the number. Okay. Makes sense. So selected tab. So I think this is a container. Vec of strings. All right. Let's go to examples. Tabs. Selected tab. Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Strum. This. What? Okay, let's come back to that. All right. App run. App state running. We're drawing. We're drawing. Handle events. Self.next tab. Selected tab equals self.selected tab.next. Selected tab is being set where? Self.state quitting for quit. Well, what? Oh, okay, this is in the app. Select the tab equals self.selected tab. Okay. Next and okay, let current index U size self as U size. Okay. Previous index from repr next index saturating add. All kinds of crap. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, let's go down to here. So render. Implement widget for app. That's a new one. Vertical layout, horizontal layout is where our tabs render title. Let's see, self.render tabs, which is down here. Let's see, let selected tab index be selected tab. Let title select. Okay, selected tab. Where are you being set? Self.selected tab. It's not what I'm wanting. Self.selected tab. Line 141. That's the index. Equals self.selected tab as U size. Self. Selected tab is an enum. Default from repr enum. Okay, from repr. Okay. Title selected tab iter. Implement widget for Matt. What the? I have no freaking clue. All I wanted to figure out is where do we set selected tab the first time? I mean, we have self.selected tab index. Here we're rendering the selected tab. Let's try this again. Selected tab. So we're already using it. So this is where, okay, we're as part of the app, we have to instantiate it. So this is where we're moving next. So we're doing that. So it should be when we create a new app. So main, here we go. App default run. Mute turnable app default. Oh. Whoa. So app state running Okay, so I think what this is doing is it's getting an app. I don't know how that works. That's something to research, but it's setting defaults based on different things. So app here has an app state of default for running. If you get a selected tab, it has a default. Oh, app. Here's app. It has an app state and a selected tab. By default, it's going to grab the first tab, which we get a name of tab 1. So when you create the default, that's where it's setting it initially. Man, that was wild. Okay, now that we understand that, we want to handle going to the next tab. So really, if we implemented this, we would go to the next tab. And this is just changing UI elements. Here, we would want to go down to the next line and set app.activeTab to be the index that we want. However, we might need a little more integration into the app state with the UI based on this example. It might be worth next week going through a couple of these examples, because I was basing several things on the JSON editor on how to move forward. I wonder if it would behoove me to break down a few of these and experiment to get a better idea of what's going on. I mean, there was a pop-up here. App, new, self-show pop-up. Run app. Saw that. Layout. Show. App show pop up. Anyway, what I might do is see about net over the course of the week. I might see about going through and looking at some of the docs myself and get a little bit of an understanding on some of the TUI stuff with Ratatouille around tabs and around some of the other UI element stuff, because obviously I was getting a little confused. But I think we made really good progress on this in that we were able to figure out the borrow checker a little bit, figure out passing by reference, passing, doing a mutable reference. Again, that's why I wanted to go down this, is because I knew we would hit a practical example of that problem. We worked through it. We got it working. And then when we hit the problem again, knew what to do to solve that problem when it was trying to do something out of scope of what it was allowed to do. So anyway, I think it was a successful week. Again, I'll try to go through some more of the docs and be better prepared for next week. So with that, I thank you for watching. Hit the channel. I have a new video that's about 10 minutes long on string versus stir, if that interests you. And I'll catch you next time. See ya.